So this backpack here specifically is one of the Amazon special backpacks, or the tactical backpacks that you see just kind of all over Amazon, littering the place. They're under probably 50 different names, but they all pretty much come from the same factory somewhere in China. And they're all based on the ones I've seen, pretty much the exact same thing. Sometimes they include different stuff in them, like patches or whatever, but that's usually the only difference. Also, some companies, or, well, labels, brands, whatever you want to call them, will come in different camo patterns. So that's something that if you're looking for a different camo pattern, just look for the same backpack. Just type in, 30-liter backpack, tactical backpack, whatever, and something will pop up. And just click on different brands until you find one that comes in the camo pattern you want. Because last I looked, which was today, this brand specifically didn't have this multicam or OCP or whatever camo pattern you want to call it in stock, and they didn't even have it listed on their Amazon page anymore. And I got this backpack, I don't know, maybe about a year ago, and I haven't used this extremely heavily. I've only taken it on, some hikes, kind of worn around, use it for throwing the vehicle, that kind of stuff. Taking it to the range a couple times, but for what it is, it seems pretty durable. Some of the things on here, which you'll see, are a little cheap, and I wish they could improve it a little bit, but for the price, which is, $30, throw that out there right now, you're going to be hard-pressed to find another backpack that's going to be similar to this one. Now, what I use this backpack for is to replace my, I guess, assault pack, day pack, whatever you want to call it, that I keep on my plate carrier, because I realized that one did not have enough room in it for all the stuff I would need, so I ended up not taking certain things that I wanted, and then, or I tried to shove a whole bunch of stuff in there, and it just got to the point where it was just too heavy, and you don't really want all that stuff permanently attached to your plate carrier, because then you can't move around as easily, and you become like a big turtle. It's hard to move around. My goal was with this backpack is it's still kind of the same purpose as what's on my plate carrier, but what's on my plate carrier, I just put the bare essentials, what I need in there, nothing extra, and I also keep a hydration bladder in that. So that balances it out, because with the hydration bladder, the weight of that is similar to, 3 or 4 magazines that are fully loaded. Because in case you didn't know, water's heavy, so it's a nice balance to that. That's something else that a lot of people don't take into consideration. They'll load up the front part of their back, or of their plate carrier, or the back part of their plate carrier, and then they don't balance it out by putting an equal or similar amount of weight on the front and back. And whenever you do that, it's just going to either drag the plate carrier backwards, and then the plate carrier is going to lift up on the front into your throat, or it's going to sag down on the front part of you, exposing, your clavicle and all that kind of different stuff where you don't necessarily want to expose. So your body armor is going to be protecting your stomach, which is not your vitals. So that's just kind of a mistake I see a lot of people doing all the time. So make sure you tighten your plate carrier appropriately and have the weight balanced out. So what I wanted to do with this, again, is to replace or go in conjunction with the one-day assault pack that I have. It's the Elite Spanker Elite, something like that. A bunch of different companies make that one too on my plate carrier. And so again, what I keep in there is my water. But in this one, I just basically threw everything else in there. And the other, I do have my maps and everything else that don't weigh anything. And I can throw stuff in there if I want to. But for the most part, I just leave it empty. So, okay, that's enough of kind of philosophy, other than also one other thing, and I forgot to mention this. This is kind of the biggest deal, is if you permanently attach something to your plate carrier, it's stuck on there, which means if you just need to run as fast as you can for whatever reason, get out of the situation, whatever, and you're weighed down with a bunch of stuff, you're going to move slower. So having something like this where if you have to, you can just dump this pack and then run faster. So what this backpack, the brand on this one specifically, is, it's called Armycamo, and I'll put a link to all this stuff in the description. But again, there's a bunch of different companies that make this exact same backpack. It's around $30, depending on what company you click on, or what camo pattern you get. Some are a little bit more expensive than others. It's labeled as a 34-liter pack. It's also labeled as a 30-liter pack. I don't know which it is. It's around that size though. But the size comparison, or the size of it, the measurements, it's 16.5 by 11 by 9. So that'll give you a general idea about how big this is. Does come in a bunch of different camo patterns, if that matters to you. The material on here is 600 denier, and it's polyester. So if that bothers you, just know that in advance. I will say the camo pattern on here, is not actual multicam. If you can tell, like the multicam ones over here and over there, you can tell it's a slightly different pattern. Also, all the straps webbing is this kind of slick. I assume it's polyester as well. And one thing to note about this is this stuff glows under NVG like IR light, so just know that. The last thing is, and I'll show you this here in a second, is it does come with a hydration bladder pouch as well, or a compartment on the back end. So that may not interest you. You may just want to use this as a truck, a truck backpack with all your crap in it, or a go bag or whatever. That's fine. Okay, so what this backpack comes with is everything you see here. It does not come with this, and it does not come with this. So what I added on the side, because there is MOLLE on the sides of this backpack, as you can see, hopefully, what I put on here is, this is just a hydration bladder or a water bottle pouch that has a little external pouch attached to it as well. Then I also put on a double mag pouch right here to kind of offset the weight. Because on this side I have NVGs, and they don't weigh hardly anything. On the other side I have a water bottle, which weighs a lot. So I was able to put 2 mags to at least balance that out a little bit. So on the other side, as I said, I have another one of these water pouches. Hopefully you can see it. I'll unzip it here just so you can see what all's in here, and so you can see what size. So this, as you can tell, it's a Nalgene bottle. This one here, let's see, it's the 32 ounce. So that'll give you an idea of what these side pouches will hold. The side pouches also have this kind of rubbery material, so they keep stuff relatively water resistant. So in a light rain, you'd be fine. So now, granted, if you have anything that's sensitive, you're going to want to put it in Ziploc bags or something else. But these also have little side compartments as well, where you could throw more crap in there if you wanted to. You don't have to put these side pouches on there, but I like having extra water because I live somewhere where it gets really hot in the summer. And being thirsty and dehydrated is not fun. Also, you have to think about it. You may not have access to water, and if your food requires being rehydrated, or you need water to drink, or you need water to wash, or whatever it is, water is useful. So having a hydration bladder in here is important, or in your plate carrier is important, but also having a spare set of water or bottle of water for other things is nice to have. Zip tie on here is just, I guess, to look cool, but it's also for fixing things. If you've ever had something break on you, zip ties work wonders. And on the other side, let me kind of show you what's in here. So again, I just have 2 mags. In case you're wondering why one has green tape on it, those are green tip rounds. The other ones are just full metal jacket. I just had that for options. What I keep on the outside of this one is, one, I like Ziploc bags, but I keep my batteries in here. For my NVGs, I keep the Neurotos Rhino mount in there, and then in the main compartment, I just have a goggle pouch that has my NVGs that are wrapped in a Ziploc bag. So they're in there, and they're relatively padded in all this. I'm not super worried about them breaking. If they do, whatever, I'll fix them, I guess. And I apologize in advance for the bad cinematography here. No matter what I do, I cannot get a good angle on this backpack, so sorry about that. So on here, it comes with a few different compartments. There's 3 main compartments and then a little small one here. It also has some straps where you can cinch it down with buckles. You could remove this. That's honestly kind of just gets in the way. I don't think this one is really necessary because it has 4 on either side. So compression straps are nice. They do keep stuff from, flopping around all over the place and keep stuff pretty small. In this top little compartment, I just keep a couple of Ziploc bags to waterproof stuff. You never know. It does have kind of a waterproofing material in here. It's not going to, keep your stuff super dry in a downpour, but it will help if it's raining or a light rain. All right, so in here, you have another compartment. I keep baby wipes in here because you might need a wipe. You also need to maybe clean your hands, clean dirt. I keep this is just a regular handkerchief. This one's just camo pattern. You can use that for all kinds of stuff. I have an airway in there. I keep map markers. Also in this pouch, I keep a compass and I keep a multi-tool. This is my favorite multi-tool that I have. This is a Gerber. I believe it's their suspension. Yes. And it's better than their, I think the newer one that came out, the Suspension Next, I think is what it's called. Get the original one. This one's much heavier duty than the new one. So, well, mini review there. I keep a small little smoke grenade in there. And I also keep a flashlight, which I forgot completely that this was even in there. but I do have a flashlight in there as well. So in the other compartments, and these are the two main compartments, I keep a pair of goggles. That's what these are. And I also keep this little pouch in here, which I pretty much just shoved anything and everything I could think of that I might need. So I have bug spray, I got ibuprofen, I got a way to filter water. This is a Sawyer Mini that you can attach directly to your hydration bladder if you wanted to, but I don't want to mess with that because then you got to clean the inside of your hydration bladder much more thoroughly. I got more wet wipes, I got fire starter, and I have some stormproof matches. So different things that you just might want. I have a Mylar blanket, just a few little, doodads, odds and ends, things that you might want to make your stuff, to make your stay wherever you're at a little bit more comfortable, because no one likes being uncomfortable, and if you can carry it and it doesn't weigh a whole lot, why not? So it does also come with these little pouches right here. You got the little mesh pockets and a little pocket right there. I don't use those for anything. I generally put pouches and stuff inside, just because I like to compartmentalize things. That does add weight, so just know that if you're going to put pouches and stuff, you're adding up weight pretty quickly if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. All right, so on the inside, you can see, it has this rubbery material. In this one, I keep a gas mask, which I also have the ability, if I want, to attach these two carabiners. You can see they're worn out from use. I can attach these to my belt. I have two little clips on my belt. And then I have this little leg strap right here where I can actually clip this onto my leg and basically use it kind of like a drop leg holster, more or less, on my left side. And if you watch some of the video footage, if I still have it, I'll insert it here. But it doesn't get in the way. It actually hooks in really pretty tight to your body whenever you do this. This is just an old surplus. I don't remember even who makes this. But I have a Millennium gas mask in here that I use for various things, but it also has the filter in here as well. So I keep this in there. It's relatively easy to get to because, again, you can take this off your back if you want. I just throw one MRE in here because I like having food. Again, this is just a one-day pack, and an MRE is going to be enough food for you for one day, depending on what you're doing. Assuming you're not gone the entire day, you have to stay overnight, whatever. Then I also threw a poncho in here. Now, it does have, as you can see, rubber back right here. It's a pretty durable material, so this is going to keep stuff relatively dry. Again, this material on the sides is going to leak some with water. That's just how it is. It has a little compartment right here, which I keep other stuff. Hopefully you can see it. More wet wipes. I keep a little roll of duct tape in here, and zip ties, rubber bands, stuff for fixing things, and I also have electrical tape. More wet wipes, a lens cleaner. This is important. You may not have thought about this, but if you don't have one of these things, either on your person or in your pack, you need to throw one in there, because if you've ever gone through a rifle class or pistol class and you have optics, your optics are going to get disgusting pretty quickly. Whenever the bolt is reciprocating, if you have a well lubricated bolt on your AR, all that grease and gunk and oil is going to kind of come back, say, on your magnifier or whatever. So just know your lenses are going to get a little bit dirty. So also in there, I just have some spare batteries. So that's what's in that little side compartment. And again, this is big enough to keep everything I need. If I wanted more stuff in here, I could probably fit it if I wanted to. But this is mostly just convenience things. A lot of this I don't necessarily need, which is why I don't have it permanently attached to my foot carrier or on my body. All right, so as you can tell on here, it has Molly just all over the place. It has a little bit of Velcro here too. If you want to attach something to it, you can. It's got Velcro here. The straps, let's talk about that. So I have no idea what this little D-ring is for. Honestly, I'll probably end up cutting this off at some point. The straps up here are fine. The carry handle on here is actually pretty well made. It's sewn over itself. It's got box stitching where the shoulder straps are actually attached. I'll show you those in a second. And it's got double stitching pretty much all over the place, which is pretty nice when it comes to the body itself. I don't know if you can see it or not, but there is double stitching right here and all the places that matter. Let's show you the back side. So on here, you have a little bit of mesh. It's that kind of cheap mesh, so it's not the super comfortable stuff, but it will give you a little bit of aeration. In here, you have, this is where I actually keep my maps. It's in this little back panel right here. but you can put, you know, whatever you want back here in this little section. It does have a little spot, hopefully you can see it, for a hydration bladder hose to come through. There we go. If I can get, there's a little slot right there. I don't know if you can see that or not, for the hydration bladder. And if you don't want it, there's a little piece of Velcro that covers it up, and a little piece of elastic that would kind of keep everything down in place. The carry handle is good. It's well made. The stitching goes into the sides, which I like. And again, it has MOLLE on either side, which is how this stuff is attached. Shoulder straps I like, but I also don't like. So they have these two little D-rings here, and as you can see, it just kind of hooks through and loops back through itself and then to right here. So that's not the most secure method, but it is a simple way to do things. And again, $30, what do you expect? The padding on here is sufficient. Again, it's that kind of cheaper padding, but it works fine. You're not going to have a whole lot of weight in here to begin with, so you don't really need super nice padding. It also stops right here, and then it goes down to the front. It does have chest straps if you want. That'll keep it from, you know, coming off of your back whenever, say, you have a plate carrier or something unconventional on, because you can wear this over a plate carrier because the straps are so thin. It works fairly well. But having this clipped together will keep it from sliding off either left or the right shoulder. Keep it kind of centered. It does also have, as you can see down here, buckles for a waist strap. Whether or not you use that, I don't know. It's completely up to you. But one benefit I will say for this thing that it has going for it is all of this stuff is pretty low profile. It's very thin, as you can see to the side. It doesn't take up hardly any space. Versus some backpacks I've seen, you know, padding this thick. That stuff is going to get in the way of your plate carrier. It's going to prevent you from drawing magazines out. It's just going to get in the way. So having something thin like this means that even while you're wearing it, if you need to, you can get to this stuff on the front of your plate carrier without all this getting in the way, which is something that I don't think a lot of people think about. They think more about comfort. And while I get that, if you're hiking for, you know, miles and miles and miles, that might be more important to you. But having something that doesn't snag on all of your stuff on your plate carrier is important to me. And again, there is a little spot in there for the bladder, if I didn't mention that, that's inside of there as well. If y'all have any questions, feel free to put them down below. Comment if you like this kind of content. I haven't done like a gear backpack review in a while, so hopefully y'all appreciate the kind of change of pace. But I wanted to talk about this because this was something I was looking for a while, that I wanted to replace my 3-day pack with something smaller. So if I didn't want to take something out that was, you know, for 3 days, I could just take this. It was more for like, you know, patrol or, you know, 1 day kind of thing, or just to kind of carry all your stuff, because carrying all that stuff on your plate carrier, this would be way too heavy. So again, if you appreciate it, give us a thumbs up. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We do have an Instagram page as well. Check that out. And comment down below. Even if you don't know what to say, just say hello, because the algorithm doesn't like this kind of content. So the more comments that we get, the more outreach there is, and the better the channel will do. And so that's that. So hopefully y'all have a good one.